Hello, everyone. Jose J. Garcia with Mobile Home University here. Very special guest for this evening. He is a real estate investor, a coach, president of Hope Housing Foundation, and Multifamily Monopoly. I consider him also a motivator. You need to go check out his social media if you don't already follow up and be prepared to get motivated. Alvin Hope Johnson, how you doing, sir?
Man, I'm doing good, Jay. How you doing?
Yes, sir. Fabulous. I forget what day of the week it is. I'll tell everybody every day feels like Monday, but it's a great thing. So good, good. So, Alvin, I follow your social media now. Great stuff. A lot of good stuff that you post under, a lot of knowledge. So thank you for that. But for those that don't know you, tell us about yourself.
Man, again, Alvin Hope Johnson, thank you for having me here, Jose. Man, I'm 56 years old, right? And I'm a
56 young.
husband, a father, grandfather, all that junk. But what I really am, then that's not junk. But what I really am, man, is I'm a motivator. I'm a dealer of hope. I've had a hard life that I've done all to myself, and I have persevered. And only by the grace of God can I sit here and talk to you about it today. So
Amen.
that's who I am, man. I live my faith out loud. Everything I talk about, I speak it, and then it actually comes into being. Faith without works is dead. So that's all we do, man. We talk about it, we walk it out, we get up every day and just believe that it's gonna happen. We believe it all the way.
Law of attraction.
The law of attraction.
Yes, sir.
That's what they call
Okay.
it.
Well, great. Definitely. No,
Not a
and
secret, is it?
no, but not enough people know it. Because if they did, they wouldn't carry themselves. And I'll say that respectfully, and so many people just, even the things, and you can't help but to overhear so many times. And
Right.
sometimes I tell them, oh, you don't want to be saying that. You're attracting that to you. Oh, it's going
Yeah.
to be another terrible day. No, don't say that. It's going to be
Yeah.
a great day. It sure is rainy, it's nasty, cold outside, but hey, let's make the best of it. So it's all
Right.
how you see it. Absolutely. So, okay, well, let's jump right into on here, Evan, and definitely thank you for joining us. A lot of people are going to get a lot of motivation out of this, I'm sure. And we'll be sharing this link, by the way, for those of you tuning in. There will be a link so that you can connect with Mr. Alvin as well. How did you get started? I know you had a hard life, you mentioned on that, but what was that trigger that initially got you to take action?
I had to eat. Real simple. There's nothing deep there. So I'll make it real quick. So I got out of high school, man, and I started painting houses. I learned how to paint houses, custom houses, and I walked that through. I was a millionaire by the time I was 20. I was broke by 24. Tried to kill myself on my son's third birthday,
Wow.
literally, like for real, for real. And then I woke up 10 days later and said, boy, you really are a loser. So when you hit the bottom and you can't even check out, you realize that you were left here for a purpose and you may as well figure it out. So my family nursed me back to health. I took a job for about 5 years and then I got back into real estate. And I've had a lot of ups and downs through the process, but man, it's all gotten me where I am today. So I can tell you the thing that has worked has been tenacity, um, and a unrelenting desire to be better. Right? Just that's it. Just I want to be better than I was yesterday. I didn't always think like that, but I do want to continue to eat. So we just get up and keep. And I think, man, Jay, once we get past the hand to mouth piece, we have a fiscal responsibility to reach back and help somebody else.
Yes.
And Zig Ziglar said it best: if you can help enough people make your dreams come true, yours are automatic. He didn't say it that way, but that's mine.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
started
just what I want to do.
I started following Zig Ziglar quite a bit more. I've heard about him in the past. One of the individuals that I listen to, and I will be having on this podcast for you to listen is Les Brown. That's in the making. But he talks a lot about that was one of his, inspiration. And I've listened to Zig Ziglar, and he was a great man. Absolutely, he delivered a lot.
Absolutely.
So I think I've ordered a couple of his books. They're on the way, so I'll be reading some of that. But yeah, no, you definitely have had some struggles, and it's that take action, keep going. Nobody's going to
Keep
push
going.
you. You
Right.
you have to get up, and some days are good, some days are not so good, but you have to fight through them. So very well put on that.
And
What
I'll
is some?
tell you, man, a lot of times, people ask me, do you get afraid? Are you afraid? Every day. Every day. I mean, I walk it out in fear. We do it anyway. Because all this stuff that we do in the real estate industry, we go buy an apartment complex. I don't know if it's going to work. We go raise money from investors. I don't know that it's going to work, right? You know, we have our metrics and things like that, but man, it's just, we walk it out and we work our butts off to to make sure that it does work.
We're not always sure, absolutely. And yeah,
Yeah.
no, that fear thing, everybody's afraid. I forgot which investor I was talking to, and that's one thing that he mentioned was, the whole wealth, it's just too much fear with this or that. And it's like when you think of somebody even as big as the great success everybody's scared.
Mhm.
Everybody's scared to take action. Fear is not absent in anybody. It is
Right.
just that initiative to take on, and hey, you take it as it comes and go with it.
And keep
Some
going.
work out, some don't work out, but that's life. And at the end of the day, it's always that what did you learn even when you did fail? Because even if you failed, what did you learn that you can carry on with you and not
That's right.
repeat again? You're always a
Fail
winner.
forward.
There you go. Les Brown.
Yeah.
Yes,
Fail
sir.
forward.
So, what do you say is the biggest accomplishment for you?
I was asked that a few minutes ago. Man, my biggest accomplishment that I'm still here. You know, the money, the houses, the cars, all that stuff that is just, that's just tools, right?
Mhm.
But the biggest accomplishment, I know what it is. The biggest accomplishment is that my son is my best friend.
Beautiful.
That's my biggest accomplishment. He's 34 years old and he wants to be my best friend.
That's
Um,
great.
that's huge.
Yes, it
That's
is.
probably my greatest accomplishment. Coming from a broken home, my dad left home when I was 11. I left home when my son was 11.
Mhm.
Same old garbage, right? And but after leaving home with when he was that young, me and my ex decided to co-parent. So he lived with both of us, and off and on her, off and on me. But I wasn't there. When I was there, I was present. When I wasn't there, I was present. And that's the difference between what me and my dad did or didn't do. And
Mhm.
so my greatest accomplishment is I get to call him my friend and I get to be a part of his life and I get to see my grandbabies raised up because I was that intentional about it. So that's the greatest accomplishment.
That's huge. Yes, sir. I have a
Yeah.
6-year-old too. And
Yeah.
definitely something that, things that you didn't have doesn't mean you have to repeat them. And I always
That's
think
right.
of that. So it's
Yeah.
like, you cut that history and start a new one.
Yep.
So absolutely awesome. Awesome for that. Yes, sir. Do you suggest people, and I'm sure your son grew up seeing you succeed and fail, but he sees that, what you've overcome. Do you follow, model those successful?
Oh, absolutely. That's the
Who,
only
who-
way we get here. I pay to be in a lot of rooms. I'm a
Mhm.
part of 4 masterminds right now.
Okay.
And each one of those mastermind, well, I'll just tell you, it's 6 figures to be in those 4 masterminds. But the reason I pay to be in those rooms is because it puts me in the rooms with the people that you just asked about. It
Yes.
helps spark the thought processes, the training, the modeling. Um, yeah, it's just different air.
Yes, it is. And you have to. You have to have
You
that.
have to,
So
right? I mean, it's, your doctors went to college for 10, 12 years and they go back every year for continuing education and they're practicing. We're not practicing. We're out here working. So in order for us to be good at it, we got to put ourselves in those rooms. And education never stops, right? I mean, everything changes. Everything gets more creative. We get new programs. I mean, nothing stays the same. So somebody said, if you're not growing, you're dying. I
yes,
don't know who said it, but it's probably about right.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Who is the biggest influencer you've had in real estate?
Probably was my mentor. His name was Steve Sturkwell. Um, I went 10 years ago. I met him in 2007. He agreed to meet with me. I met him in Dallas. I was living in Houston. He lived in Amarillo. He flew here on his private plane. I didn't know that then. Long story short, he said he would help me. I reached out to him for 3 weeks. He answered my calls. He quit answering my calls. I called him every week for a year. I called, emailed, or text every week for a year. And finally he said, Alvin Johnson, man, I am so tired of you calling me. If you want to know what I do, come here and I'll put you up for 30 days. So the reason he was so influential to me is I saw the good and the bad. So I volunteered for him for 30 days, and then it turned into 90 days, and then he started paying me. But I was there 13 months to the day, and he actually died in a car wreck.
Wow.
When he died in that car wreck, I became the president of $1.5 billion company with a B, 16,000 units across 9 states.
Wow.
And I got to see the good, the bad, the ugly. And I learned this business from unwinding that behemoth of a company. And, I worked with $1,000 an hour attorneys for 2 years to do this. And when I got done with that, here I am today. And even that transition wasn't easy. But the reason he is that guy to me, not only did he mentor me in business, I prayed for a mentor for family. He had been married 35, 40 years, had a beautiful family. So I prayed for different areas of mentors, and this guy fit that bill for about 3 or 4 of them. And it was absolutely amazing relationship I had
And
with
it
him.
took you a year to get them.
Absolutely.
Persistence, that work.
Persistent.
Same in
Tenacity.
deals. So many people hear a no and walk away.
Right.
And I tell them that's where you felt immediately. You felt to go
Yeah.
back.
Right.
So, absolutely. So do
They
you
say
believe?
you got to know when to fold them, but not on the first time.
Yeah. I have a thing. I do mobile home investing. And one thing that I tell them is, you want to hear no's. And that goes for everything. You want to hear no's. Around every no, there's a yes. But if you're, for instance, especially if you're making an offer and you get a yes, do not jump up and down. You overpaid. You should have got
That's
a
right.
no.
That's right.
So, yes,
My
sir.
buddy said he try to get his 100 no's out the way on Monday.
There you go.
He makes 50 calls a day. He tries to get his 100 calls out the way, his 100 no's out the way, because he's gonna, how many no's you gonna get out of 50 calls? 45 of them. So he tries to get his 100 no's out the way on Monday morning, so that Monday afternoon and Tuesday are productive, and then Wednesday he does it again. Let's get these no's out the way, and then Wednesday afternoon and Thursday I'm gonna be good, and then Friday we're gonna go collect these checks, and it works for him.
But believe, absolutely, there is a yes in there. Yes, sir. Do you believe in the term lucky?
I believe that there is such a thing as luck, but what I believe more of, success happens when opportunity meets preparation.
Yes.
So you can call that luck, but you just happen to be prepared, and here's your windfall, right? Okay, whatever you want to say.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. You got to be prepared for it.
Right.
So not planning for it, you're planning to fail. So you got to be ready for it. And luck, I think that's just part of it. The harder I work, the more luck I find. Seems to be. So
Imagine how that works.
yes, sir. What is your knowledge in mobile homes, mobile home parks, manufactured housing?
Well, manufactured housing, I'm getting a really good knowledge of that because I was thinking about doing some modular builds. So I've been to a couple of modular plants here in the Dallas area. I understand mobile home parks from a cash flow perspective, because you can have a really super nice A-class park, man, and you're getting $350, $400 a month rent, and all you're doing is providing street lights and that's it. So mobile home parks could be pretty dope in the right area. I'm not going to say they're a dying breed, because a lot of cities don't want them anymore. So you have to find them, and then if you find the right ones, I'm sure it's just like an apartment complex. You can do it up, make it nice, raise your rents, tell me about it. Is that kind of the same strategy?
Well, there's a stigma, no doubt, that exists on there with parks, and they're not making them anymore. So there is no new parks. What is there is there. I guess, you can't create a land package more. So it's more like a real estate at that point, where you have a piece of land, bring a mobile home or a couple, maybe, depends on the city and that sort of thing. But they're definitely a great investment, no doubt. So, like anything else, there's a market for them. Some markets are not so great. We can talk about those all day long, and I've had to learn from those, mistakes of rushing into, which is a whole different thing. But definitely a very good investment. What makes it so beauty is less of a risk and less of money to come into, which that always, that's a good startup for anybody trying to get into mobile homes or real estate.
I've heard that just in a lot of clubhouse rooms, that the barrier for entry is a little bit lower, so it gives people the opportunity to get in and get their feet wet. And that's one of my favorite sayings is, methods are many, principles are few. Methods always change, but principles never do. So mobile homes, apartments, flipping. We're all trying to get to the same goal, right? So it doesn't matter what it is. Yeah. If you do your numbers and do your due diligence right and make your money when you buy it, then you'll basically come out on the other side.
There you go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, I coach students, investors, how to get into mobile homes, investing, and that sort of thing. And
Mhm.
I run into a lot of people that they need help. They definitely need more education, but they are ready. They know enough. They know a lot more than I did when I got started. And it's just that, again, fear of holding them back. What do you say to people like this who are right at that sideline that should be ready and give them that extra push? Get in there.
I tell them, get in there.
So,
Because I mean, man, we could all have analysis paralysis or
oh yeah.
paralysis analysis, right? Um, how many times on Clubhouse in the last month have I been asked, man, what do I do? How do I get, man, you just go, how did you learn how to ride a bike? You got on it and you fell off. And then finally you figured out I don't like falling. So you learned how to ride. And that's the same thing we do in real estate. You just figure it
Absolutely.
out. Now, I wouldn't recommend going out there and, doing something really, really stupid, but there are enough people in this industry, and we have access to enough people now with podcasts and YouTube University and all that stuff to where you could make a sensible investment in real estate. Even if you didn't do it by yourself, go partner with somebody and just jump in the game. And that's it. I mean, you can't, it's never a perfect time. The perfect time was yesterday. So get in it.
Well said. So, if you ever do decide to come into mobile homes, you're in a very good market in Texas, by the way. So
Yeah,
let
we
me
are.
know on that. Yeah, and you're close to Dallas, right?
Yeah, I'm at my office is 38 minutes north of Dallas, and I live 38 miles south of Dallas. So
How
I
about
drive 20, 30 minutes every day.
Yeah, I used to travel to Dallas a lot when I was working for corporate America, and I never looked for real estate or mobile homes. And it's many times what you're not looking for, you're not going to find.
That's right. That's right.
So, and looking back now, because Texas is my next state, I cover the whole Southeast at this time, six
Okay.
states. But Texas is definitely one that I'm going to venture into. And it's, I always think like, wow, being such a massive state and so many opportunities. But again, if you're not looking for, you're not going to find it.
That's right. That's right.
Um, Alvin, anybody getting started in real estate or any business, I mean, what do you suggest to them before jumping into? I know we're saying, pushing them into it. I'm a believer, get in there and figure it out. I've always been. Sometimes that's always not the best of, but you know
No, it's
what? I feel
not.
like, you're not going to really learn unless you get out there. Back to the bicycle, example that you made there is, I like to tell you, you're going to have to fail to learn sometimes. And I can
That's
tell
right.
you that you're going to learn how to ride a bicycle and never fall. I'd be lying to you.
Right. Right.
So, what do you say to these people though to take precaution?
I think it has a lot to do with the people you hang around with. So mentors, students, become a student of the game. I mean, if you really want to do this, and you can't really halfway do real estate, you can go have a job and do it. Yeah, that's part-time, but you're not halfway doing it, because once you start, you're doing it. So my thing would be basically to try to get some education, get mentored, or just figure it out, and then just do it. Um, and I say that so haphazardly, but that was the only way I could learn how to do this. That was the only way I learned how to paint a house, was to pick up a freaking paintbrush. There was no other way to do it. You just figure it out, and then you go back and correct all your mistakes. And before you know it, your mistakes are a lot less than they were when you got started.
How important were mentors and coaches for you?
How important were what?
Coaches, mentors.
Well, I'll tell you what, in my first 38 to 40 years of life, I didn't have any. I mean, through my first mortgage company and my first construction company, I didn't know anybody that looked like me that could help me. Or I don't even care if they looked like me. I didn't know anybody that could help me. All my friends were working for me. So, who do I go to for help? But now they are utmost importance, because what got us here, wherever here is today, will not get us there. And the only way you're going to get there is to tie into somebody that's been there or that's going there or that knows the way there so that they can show you the way there.
Absolutely. You have to surround yourself by those who are doing whatever it is that you want to do and are more successful than you.
Right.
I've heard it said, if you walk into a room and you're the smartest, you're the most successful, you probably need to leave that room.
Yeah,
There
you're
is no
right on.
growth for you there. And that is true. Sometimes, it's hard because friends, family, of course, many times those are the biggest naysayers. So, branching off and breaking off of that'll be the first step. But yeah, absolutely. Alvin, we can keep on talking to you all night. We're
And I could
definitely
go
going to
all
connect.
night.
We're definitely going to connect a bit more. How can people connect with you? We're going to be linking on here, but how can they find you?
All socials, Alvin Hope Johnson. And I've got a website, alvinhopejohnson.com. There's also a free resource I have on my website. It's a webinar. It's a 28-minute webinar on how to buy multifamily assets. And that thing, 28 minutes, just go through it. Even if you don't ever want to buy it, if you're in real estate, I think you'll pick up some principles that we use every day, some of the terminology, be good for you. But again, alvinhopejohnson.com or Alvin Hope Johnson on IG and Facebook. And LinkedIn, Alvin Hope Johnson also.
And like I said, we will be linking all those through the video. I'll share this video with you, Alvin. And there you have it. You heard it here best, and no excuses. The education is out there, it's free, and Alvin just gave you the source of it at no cost. So the excuse, not one. Alvin, thank you, sir. Thank you for having us on here. Thank you for joining us on here. And until next time.
Till next time. Hey, I look forward. I'm sitting on my stuff.